People are so overly focused on themselves and what they need to do during a round and what they see and what they hear, but they never pay attention to their teammates. And a lot of people in solo queue struggle with solo queuing because they don't pay attention to their teammates. If you see exactly where your teammates are at by having outlines on and also just seeing them, you'll know that the Amaru is alone in CO trying to plant and nobody is covering her. You gotta pick up on this info, man. Like, at the end of the day, you know, you could just not be that experienced. But again, I want to reiterate it. What is going on, guys? 821 Mayo here, and in today's video, we're going to be having ourselves another viewer VOD review video. Now, before we actually jump into the VOD itself, I quickly want to mention that 50% of you guys aren't subscribed, so if you guys have not hit that sub button already, I would really appreciate it. I also want to mention that I'm doing coaching, so if you guys want a one-on-one VOD review session like this one here, but that is much more in-depth, or just a regular coaching session where I help you with things that you struggle with and you don't really know how to tackle, there's a link to the Patreon down below in the description, where all of your questions and more can be answered by scrolling all the way to the bottom of the page. There's also a link to the second channel, so if you guys already enjoy my content and want to see more from me, there's a link to the second channel down below. But with all of that being said, let's jump into the VOD.
They're definitely gonna push through this door.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They're definitely gonna try to push through that door.
So, just a little rule of thumb, whenever you're playing a trap operator like Legion or Capcan, always work your way exterior to interior, and what I mean by that is some of the furthest areas where you want to place your traps at, you go there first, and then slowly, as you come back towards the bomb site, you place your traps in other areas of the map. Not only is this going to keep you from getting killed and the chance of you being killed, just because as the prep phase's time dwindles down, you're going to be coming closer and closer to the bomb site, and usually that means that you're safer than, you know, being all the way extended on the other side of the map. Also with Capcan, another thing with him is you don't really want to put your traps all in one area. Like, if a room has like 4 doorways in a proximity of like 20 meters or something, you don't want to put all your Capcans on all 4 of those doorways, because the chances of you getting a kill potentially or just tripping for all 4 of those traps in that area are going to go down, just because if one person trips a Capcan in that area, the other people with that player and the player himself who tripped the trap is going to be looking for those extra Capcans in that area. You want to leave enough space to the point where they trip Capcans in the first initial time during the round, and then as the time, you know, dwindles down and they start pushing closer to the bomb site, they start tripping more and more because it's not fresh in their mind to look for those traps. So just a little rule of thumb with Capcan and Legion as well. Another thing too to keep in mind is, you know, kind of pre-plan where you want to put your utilities, so visualize the doorways, the windows, specifically with Capcan where you want to put these traps down. It really can help with your efficiency of where, you know, where you're going to put them in your time during the prep phase and just, you know, putting down this utility.
Oh my god, he's already
This guy's in the bomb site, by the way, and the reason you know that is because you heard the vault prompt and also the audio cues of barbed wire. So you need to be paying attention to your surroundings, especially when there's utility like this, or goo mines, or ella mines, or Capcan traps, or a set of barb here like the one that's in Teller's window jumping. So pay attention to your surroundings and don't allow a piece of information just to go unnoticed because you didn't pick up on it. Like, you should be seeing, okay, there's barbed wire here. If I hear barbed wire in this area close to me that's loud, that immediately tells you that someone's in this barbed wire in sight. So don't allow that piece of information just to go unnoticed for yourself or your teammates, because this Zofia could kill you, and you could have easily prevented that and probably killed her just by picking up on a simple audio cue and paying attention to your surroundings.
Yo, guys, I just there's not.
Yeah, see, you just let your teammate die there. Like, this Zofia just killed the Echo now too. So, your teammate's death is on you. Even though you might not know that your teammate's death is 100% on you. You could have very easily prevented that. You also can say, hey, barbed wire in sight. Hey, someone's in barbed wire and tellers. Yet you just stood there, did nothing. You didn't do anything. You didn't do anything to prevent the Zofia having full sight control, even though you knew exactly where she was. You were just too careless to the point where you didn't pay attention to something like that. So you have to be picking up on just small audio cues and visual cues and pieces of info like this, because now your teammate died and that death is on your shoulders. You should feel not guilty, but you should feel the responsibility for that death.
Wait, echo drone, watch the echo drone.
Wait, just, no, watch left. stay over there and keep watching that. Ignore them. Ignore them.
Let this man play.
Listen to me. He is northwest. He is that way. Chloe, move your position.
Yeah, he ran into me. He's rolling.
And just keep watching it. Don't never take your eye off of where you're watching. Just move. Yeah.
I'll keep this
And as
up.
soon as he spots you, go back to that spot.
He's running down,
Pause.
he's running down, he's
Pause.
running down.
He's shooting through the wall. Stand up. He's still there. He's still there.
He's on the right side. He's on the right side. On that mark. He's about to peek through a window.
Colby.
Got him.
GG.
Okay, so
He's about to peek through a window.
you just aced here. There were a lot of mistakes, and I'm sure you feel really good. And good job on the clutch. You were put in a situation and you handled it well, but your positioning is really lacking here. You're relying a lot on proning and crouching on this. This is like the 4th time you've gone prone in this area, just in this 1v1, and you've been in this 1v1 for about 40 seconds. So 2 things here. 1, your teammates are really annoying and they have no idea how to give callouts. They are talking over each other. They're telling you to look over there. They're saying on ping and all this stuff. That could just be a lack of game knowledge and experience. That's fine. But, you can prevent very easily your teammates talking over each other. Another thing here, you're proning way too much. If you're in a 1v1 situation like this, and you're stuck in a room like this one here, and you're proning, you're putting yourself at an immediate disadvantage. Because you're limiting your mobility and your rotation potential. So, you don't need to go prone here at all for cover. What you can do is, again, play off the barbed wire. There's a set of barb on this window, there's a set of barb on that window. You can play on this half wall here. If we go back in the round, you can play on this side of the half wall, the left side here. You can play there, hold this doorway, play off of the audio cues of the 2 sets of barb on both the windows. Your teammates are also giving full and accurate information. They can tell you if he goes rotate. So you have everything covered, so there's no reason for you to go prone. It's just a simple mistake of you not knowing how to position yourself, because as I said, going prone, especially in a 1v1 and stuff like this, is not very strong unless it's very situational. The only time I could really see going prone is when you know the enemy has to push, when there's like 10 seconds left, 5 seconds left, and you're lit, or you don't really have that great of cover, or you just want to rat out and, hold a unpredictable angle, or if the enemy has to kill you for the round win. Then that's understandable for you to go prone, but when there's 25 seconds left, 20 seconds left, you have full info on that guy, and you're also fighting through a window, you're just putting yourself at a disadvantage in terms of mobility, angles you can hold, and also rotation ability. So, yeah, like you can't rely on going prone like that, because if that thermite is any better, he would have punished you for the mistake there of going prone. But what I want to talk about here is you can play on the left side of the half wall, hold the doorway walk in. Again, your teammates can call for the window jump in or the rotate, and you have all of the info you need, and you're covering everything you need for, this bomb site and for the clutch. You don't have to go prone. You have complete cover, and you can deal with things and section them off. Especially when you're exposed to this many angles in a 1v1 or a clutch situation. You need to try to minimize as many angles that you're exposed to at all times, so that way you decrease the chances of, you getting shot in your side or your back. And in a 1v1, it's much easier to do that because you're only fighting one guy. But if you're like in a 1v2 plus, like a 1v3, 1v4, you need to be minimizing those angles, so that way you just limit that potential of the enemy shooting you again in your back or your side or whatever it is. So that's exactly what you would have done there, and all you had to do is just really waste the time. But nonetheless, I mean, good job on the clutch, but there were a lot of mistakes that I saw. So just make sure that you're picking up on those mistakes.
It's spawned west.
Never put a Capcan trap next to a Malusi or like anything like this. You're doing exactly what I said not to do, of putting your Capcans in a super small radius as well. So you need to be, if you want to play Capcan, you need to understand where you want to put your utility and what doorways you want to put it on and what route you're going to take to put down the utility. But you putting a Capcan trap next to a Malusi is a huge mistake, because this Capcan is going to destroy the Malusi, and the Malusi is probably not even going to be used to its fullest potential of slowing down anyone trying to walk through this double door. So you need to understand what you're doing and what negative effects it can have on the team, because this is going to definitely destroy the Malusi charge there, which can very easily be prevented if you just paid attention again.
in blue hallway. Fuck. Behind you, Colby.
Behind you.
Behind. He's right there. If you straight to that wall, go over and straight to the top.
Oh.
Oh, that should have been.
You need to stop listening to your teammates. Your teammates are backseat gaming you. These are the type of players who die early in the round and then try to live through their teammates while they play. So you just need to tell your teammates to be quiet and let yourself play for you. Because your teammates are playing through you and telling you what to do, and you're pretty much a puppet. This happened last round in the clutch, and this is also happening this round as well. So if you want to learn and get better at the game, you need to do it at your own pace and in your own way. Because if someone's playing through you and they're telling you what to do and you're listening, why and what are you really learning by that point? Because if you don't know the reasoning why someone's telling you to do something, then how are you supposed to get better at the game when something like that doesn't work? So you need to have your own decision making and your own thought process, because I'm sure for you, if you continuously play with that person who is kind of playing through you, if you play with him a lot and he does that every single time you're still alive and he's dead, then it's just going to create a crutch for you to, you know, feel comfortable in clutch situations or whatever it is, because you have this voice in your ear telling you what to do. And you're listening. You're fully committing to whatever he's saying and telling you to do. And that's not a good thing to do, because, again, it'll just create this system where you rely on him to give you info on what you should do and what, you know, what he tells you to do. And I'm not saying that telling someone what to do is a bad thing, because I do it sometimes as well. Like, I'll tell someone if I have a cam on like 90 on Villa, for example, right? And someone's pushing long to bar door, and someone's playing 90, one of my teammates on defense, I'm going to tell them to swing, like swing long, you know, because I'm telling him to swing, you know, on an enemy who's pushing long bar doorway. But when he's telling you what to do every second, every round, it was even more severe last round as well. This round was not as bad because you died from something that he told you to do, but you don't need to swing here because you have a minute 30. You don't know where the other guy's at. So this 1v1 that you take on the buck, which you ultimately lost, could have been avoided, and you could have taken the 1v1 on the other enemy who was wherever else he was on the map, because that 1v1 could have been easier because the buck is swinging out of cover, meanwhile you're fully exposed. Yeah, like, if you continuously play with that guy who's telling you what to do, you just got to tell him, like, hey, like, I'm playing for myself. If you want to keep playing the game and stop playing through me, then stay alive longer. That's all you have to say. And if he doesn't agree or whatever, then stop playing with him, mute him, whatever. Because there's no point in you really trying to clutch situations like this when you're not thinking for yourself, because it'll take you much longer to learn. Much longer, I promise you. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps. You know, I'm not trying to sound like an ass or anything or sound toxic, but there's a huge difference between backseat gaming and playing through someone versus telling someone what to do for the benefit of the team in the round. Example, you know, me telling a teammate to swing 90 long on someone pushing bar doorway. That's a benefit for the team and whatever it is. If someone tells me how to clutch a situation or is trying to play through me, then I'm just going to mute them, because I want to learn for myself and I want to get better. I don't want someone to help me get better with, you know, telling me what to do every second, every step I take. So there's a distinction there. There's a difference. So make sure you guys understand that. But this guy is telling him, you know, is trying to play through him again is what I'm trying to get across here. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps.
They're going to get diffuser. They have to get diffuser. That's why they went that way.
There's no reason for you to hold this doorway, because there's a Malusi here. It's also a G8, so it's either a Maru or an IQ. Either way, neither of those operators can get rid of this Banshee here, which is something that you should play off of. There's 30 seconds left. Make the enemy make a mistake in not holding an angle or checking an angle. You play close long desk like here. You play off of the audio from the Malusi. You also have default cam up with teammates in your lobby who are more than capable of giving callouts and, you know, give info off of cams. So play off of the info that you have to your advantage, because right now, this IQ can take a 1v1 on the Jaeger who's connector and kill him, and then, you know, swing you and fish out the 1v1 after that. So you guys don't really have that strong of a crossfire right now. So you need to understand that and pay attention to your teammates' body language and position yourself accordingly off of, you know, what you have to your advantage already.
Alright, plant.
Oh.
You heard your teammate planting, right? You know that he's planting. You heard the briefcase squeak. So instead of you holding top yellow control and whatever you're doing here, go see a window and help him. Because I believe he's currently alone. Like, this Amaru had to get off plant and kill someone. I'm pretty sure, unless it might have been the IQ. I could be wrong, but the diffuser was planting. So if you look at the diffuser, as the diffuser is going down,
Pretty sure with all the fucking things.
yeah, so it is him.
Can somebody,
Alright, plant.
Yeah, so as the diffuser is going down, you hear it, right? You hear it go or like squeak. And then also Logler is the Amaru, because I just saw him in CO with his name, and you know he has diffuser, right? So instead of you holding yellow for some reason, like, go help your teammate, because nobody is with him. If they kill him, they have full diffuser access, and now you have to retake that. You also see both of your teammates meeting side, and then Thermite eventually comes up yellow. That should be a clear indicator to you that the Maru with diffuser is alone right now, and you need to help her, because she is forced to get off plant in this situation, in this round, and kill someone. Like right here, she kills someone. I don't know who. It was Doc. So she kills Doc, right? You should immediately pick up on this info. Again, you know, I've been seeing a lot where you're not paying attention to audio cues or visual cues, and it could be a lack of experience or whatever it is. But this is common sense. Like, process of elimination and teammates positioning is common sense in this game. So you need to be seeing that IQ and Ash are alone, and then once you see Thermite here as well, like, you know that this guy is alone. This is process of elimination. This is like second grade stuff here. So people are so overly focused on themselves and what they need to do during a round and what they see and what they hear, but they never pay attention to their teammates. And a lot of people in solo queue struggle with solo queuing because they don't pay attention to their teammates. If you see exactly where your teammates are at by having outlines on and also just seeing them, you'll know that the Amaru is alone in CO trying to plant and nobody is covering her. You gotta pick up on this info, man. Like, at the end of the day, you know, you could just not be that experienced, but again, I want to reiterate it. It's such a common sense thing to pay attention to. Stop focusing so much on you and yourself. Think about your team, think about your teammates, where they're positioned, where they're looking, where they're using their utility, how they're peeking a doorway or a window. Like, there's a lot of info you can get just by looking at someone. It just depends on how you bend that position and where they're looking to your advantage.
hey, defend me, I'm going down. I'll hope you got me.
Alright, bro, listen, if you're gonna play Thatcher, please don't play Thatcher like that. I'm just gonna say, homie's dropping threes from the skylight into the map, dude. Holy smokes. Bro, you're on the you're on the 3-point line, dropping them from the line. Oh my god. Listen, bro, for anyone who wants to play Thatcher, I'm just gonna say, don't play him like that. Please don't play him like that. Oh my god.
So what you're telling me is we gotta go now.
Yeah.
Good, yeah.
Cleared out B-bomb already.
Last time I know they were in the offices.
If you have 20 seconds like this, don't leave a Claymore. You know that last two are most likely going to be site. You know that Doc is for sure. He was coming from admin. And I'm not sure where Jaeger is currently, but the chances of him roaming are probably going to be pretty low. So putting a Claymore down like this is going to take 4 seconds, 3 seconds, which you don't have to afford. So you need to understand that you're in a situation where you need to go to like win the round and win the game. Like, you can't afford just to put down a Claymore like this. Yeah, so both are site right now. One's connector, it's going to be Doc, and then Jaeger's probably going to be Baguette. No, Jaeger isn't Baguette, okay.
Keep an eye out, rep it, or watch out for frost trap.
Yeah,
Always.
GG.
Did he get stemmed to mid injure? Looked like it. Okay, so, I mean, you know, you play the angles right. You don't need to be focusing on connector, though, when you cross, because you saw the Doc leave. So if you try to go in there, you know, you're exposing yourself to all of long desk. If this Jaeger is any smart, he would already be holding this, and you would be dead. Now the ace is in a 1v2 instead of a 2v2. So you don't need to worry about meeting so to speak, because you just saw the doc leave, so the chances of both of them being in that area are going to be pretty low. Especially, you know, you going off sound propagation and kind of your teammate dying to Jaeger just moments before you came upstairs. But nonetheless, you know, you won the round, you won the game, and you killed both of them. So, I mean, good job on that. But the biggest thing that I need you to focus on is you're not taking the game serious. Like, you're just... This is a huge issue that I've seen with a lot of viewers where they just expect things to go their way. They're not ready to troubleshoot an issue, or they're not ready to counter the enemy countering them. They just expect things to go their way. They have this notion that they think that whatever they do, it's going to be in their favor. It's going to help them and their team. I promise you, once you start getting to a certain point in rank, elo, and skill of the enemy, you're going to be punished for stuff like that, and you're going to be sitting there thinking, why am I not improving? Why am I not getting better? Why can I not compete with these guys? And just this whole list of negativity and doubt in yourself. And the reason is because you're not putting enough thought and time into a round and into the game. And if you want to play the game casually, that's fine. But if you wanted to play the game casually, you wouldn't be submitting a VOD review for me to review. So clearly you don't take the game casually and you actually want to improve. So if you want to improve, whoever is sending me this VOD in, you need to take the game more serious. And you also need to stop expecting things to go your way, because I promise you, it'll get to a certain point where one day there's going to be a realization where you're just going to be like, why am I not getting better? Like, why are we not winning games? Why am I losing elo or whatever it is? And that's probably one of the main causes. Also, your situational awareness and just kind of your understanding of situations. Like, even the round previously when the Amaru's planting CEO, you're just looking down yellow skylight when there's a thermite there. There's no reason for both of you to be there, so you should leave and go help your teammate. Like, you're just, again, that's just doing something and expecting the round to go your way. Why are both of you top yellow when you know he's there, yet you're still willingly staying there? Just leave. Like, why are you there? Especially when your teammate's in CO trying to plant solo. Like, your situational awareness and the way you take in information is really struggling. And you might seem like, and it might feel like, oh, you're improving or whatever it is, but again, there's going to be this day where you play and you're just going to be like, okay, like, I am not getting better. Why am I not getting better? And it's because you're not putting enough thought into the game. You're just simply playing. You're not playing to win, you're just playing. So I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I would really appreciate it. I'm also leaving this at the end of the VOD, at the end of the video. So the VOD form is currently open right now as I'm speaking, as this video is going up. So if you're watching this and you guys have been wanting to submit a VOD, the VOD form is open. Listen to me, because the amount of people that come into my Twitch chat and say, why is the form not open? The amount of DMs I get every day saying, why is the form not open? I close the form once it hits 10 submissions. So if you want to submit your VOD, you need to be ready. You need to have the VOD up. You need to have it recorded on YouTube, and then submit it in the VOD form, because the amount of people that say they watch the videos but don't, and they DM me, why is the form not open, shows that they don't watch the videos. So the VOD form is currently open. I'm going to close it once it hits 10 submissions. If it's closed when you go to it, that means there's 10 submissions. So with that being said, the VOD form is open. There's a link to it in the description. Make sure you guys meet the requirements, or else I'm just going to delete your submission. And yeah, again, you know, whoever submitted this VOD, I hope that helped out. And if it helped out any of you, I'm glad I could help out. But with all of that being said, I also want to mention once again that I am doing coaching. So if you guys are interested in that and you want a VOD review that is much more in-depth like this, there's a link to the Patreon down below where all of your questions can be answered and more if you scroll to the bottom of the page. So if you guys are interested in a VOD review or a coaching session, check out the Patreon. There's also a link to my second channel. So if you guys are wanting more content, or you already enjoy my content and want to see more of it, there's a link to the second channel down below, as well as a link to the Wichita Wolves, which I make content created for. So make sure you guys go show them some love. But with all of that being said and my nonsense out of the way, I hope you guys enjoyed. I've done something new, and I'll see you guys in the next video.